today we're gonna be talking about the money saving diet, and it sounds weird, but honestly, any way that you diet will save you money if you do it right. The problem with that is that most diets don't offer a full balanced nutritional range. So if anybody stays on a diet for too long, they end up having nutritional deficits. They're not eating enough, let's say, vitamin C or iron or calcium, and that in the end ends up costing more because you have to pay to go to the doctor. You have to pay for all these remedies and stuff like that, and we don't want that. So what I'm talking about is using a balanced diet that'll help cover those nutritional deficits that most diets have. So when I'm talking about a money-saving diet, I'm looking at the overall picture, even though it might cost slightly higher than just a water diet, or a beans and rice diet. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a diet that over the years I've come to find out that actually saves you money because of various reasons. First off, most diets that you get on, people get all excited to buy all fruits, buy all vegetables, buy all this healthy stuff and fish, things like that, chicken. And let's say because of human nature, this person only lasts a month. Let's say they last 3 months. Just every week going to the store, buying all this fresh produce and stuff like that. The point being that as soon as you start backsliding, you miss a day, you miss 2 days, you miss a week. Look in your fridge. You have a bunch of wasted food. Why? Because it goes bad. It just goes bad. It starts getting rotten. And you say, well, that happens with any diet. No, it does not happen with any diet, actually. The diet I have right now is loosely based on this. So when I do backslide, when I do end up not staying on my diet, I don't go to a fridge full of just wasted product. Okay? So another problem with that is that with the normal dieting is that you're not focusing on several factors. The biggest factor I've had is with the American diet, and that's called diabetes or obesity. They call it the American diet, and it's very much based on eating fast food, red meats, high calorie dense stuff. And my point being is that not just any diet can help cover these deficits. You already trained your body to want certain foods if it's missing certain nutrients. You get me? If it's missing calcium, your body is trained to ask you for ice cream. And that's just one example. So you already trained your body to ask you. It's called cravings, guys. So you already trained your body to ask you for pizza if it's missing something. You already trained your body to ask you for sweet breads, for sweets in general, high sugar content food if it's feeling energy deficient. So you have to retrain your body, guys, and that takes time, and it's understandable. So when you go to any normal diet, it does not take into account that your body's going to keep asking you for certain things because you have not retrained it. So here's the diet that I propose, that I use now. I really don't gain a lot of weight. I don't lose a lot of weight either. I stay at the weight that I want and at a weight that I'm comfortable with. Currently, right now, I'm ranging 165. If I want to lose weight, I just exercise a bit. If I'm not exercising a bit, I don't have to worry about me gaining too much weight. So the diet I propose is really a diet based on foods with long shelf life. Yes, I'm actually walking my daughter. Long shelf life items. And these are actually some of the best items you can find. For example, right now in my pantry, I have oatmeal, I have quinoa, lentils, wild brown rice or long grain brown rice, and beans. Okay, and the great thing about this is that I could be eating my oatmeal every morning, right? But one day I decide, you know what, I don't want oatmeal. What if for 1 week I decide I don't want oatmeal? What if for 1 month I decide I don't want oatmeal? Okay, and this is where the amazing thing about this diet comes into play. I can go back a month later and still find good oatmeal. Still find oatmeal that's dry and ready to use, and I can just hop right back onto my diet. I have not wasted money on my oatmeal. The cool thing is that oatmeal isn't really that much expensive, even if it does go bad. It costs like $2 for the expensive one, Quaker Oats. So there's one big difference right there. It gives you flexibility. Quinoa, oats, beans. The beans I buy canned, actually. I do have normal beans, but I find that canned is a lot faster, and it lasts quite a long time too. So what I do focus on is long shelf life items for diets. Okay, this is pantry shelf life foods. Pastas I kind of stay away from, mostly because most pastas you're familiar with have really high sugar content. And I'm not talking about sugar content, but saying that it has no actual benefits unless you're getting whole wheat or whole grain pasta. So I stay away from that, and I'll focus more on whole grain stuff. So the next long shelf life stuff that I get is fruits and veggies. I get them frozen or canned. Usually frozen for fruits. I get my normal items like frozen mixed veggies, like the stir fry combo or the mixed veggie normal. I like stir fry. It has a lot of different textures and flavors. It has the broccoli and the water chestnuts. Very nice for me. I like them. My wife doesn't like water chestnuts so much. But same thing. If one day I decide, you know what, we're skipping these meals for a month, I can go back to my fridge and find that they're still in good condition and I can still use them, so I can hop right back on my diet. You get me? So we're focusing a lot on human nature. Human nature is you are going to backslide. Human nature is you are going to go to a fridge full of spoiled foods if you buy fresh. Human nature is that you will backslide and go back to restaurant or fast food restaurants and for a month or two, and you're going to feel bad and you want to go back to a diet, and you're going to remember that you wasted so much money just to find it all in the trash. So in the long run, based on human nature, not just on numbers, people will backslide, and this diet I find is most flexible with that. It takes into account your backsliding, so focus on whole grains. So like I said, quinoa, oatmeal. I love oatmeal with frozen fruits. Pop that in the microwave for a minute or 3, take it out, and it's ready to eat. Total time to prepare 5 minutes. You're not cooking, you're not doing squat, it's just fresh. So do frozen fruits offer less nutritional value? Yes, actually. And you're looking more into vitamin C, any water soluble vitamins, they actually drop quite a bit in frozen stuff. And we'll talk about that kind of negative aspect of it in a bit. Canned foods. I do get canned food. Mostly it's mixed veggies. I get canned beans, and I get canned tuna for the protein, and because it's a nice little switch. Like you get the tuna salad later on and stuff like that. You mix canned veggies with canned tuna. Ay, nena, ¿qué te pasó, bebé? Ay. So you just get mixed canned veggies with canned tuna, put some mayonnaise in it, and boom, you got a quick meal that I like, with crackers. So we also, mane mija, ay chiquita, ay bebé, tómate el chupón. So we focus on long shelf life pantry items for the grains. Let's focus on canned fruits, canned veggies, not canned fruits. Canned fruits taste nasty. Canned veggies, I did try those little fruits and syrup stuff for the longest time that you give to kids. Like I didn't like them. I didn't like them at all. So I really prefer frozen fruits instead. My wife doesn't really like the frozen strawberries, so we've been eating frozen mixed berries without the strawberries. We've been eating a frozen mango. It turns out it's very good as long as you don't let it thaw. Just put it straight into the freezer and use it like that. You know, don't let it thaw the whole bag and then put it back in the freezer. That's the nastiest thing you've ever ate. And dried fruits. Dried fruits are a great way to go for in between snacks. Don't go overboard, guys. Dried fruits is mostly like the once an occasional treat. You also want to focus on nuts like almonds, walnuts. Nuts are great for your health. They're a great snack. Add it on your oatmeal. You know, keep yourself awake on road trips with, for example, what do they use? They use mixed nuts, but they use sunflower seeds. You know, they're great for you too. You have long shelf life. You save money on it. And if you ever backslide, you can go back to this diet like nobody's business. You know, like if you never left, and you're not gonna have to worry about the shelf life. We do use eggs, and eggs do have a relatively long shelf life, about 3 to 5 weeks. If kept in a cool dry place or a refrigerator. We have tortillas, we have bread, and they do expire, guys. So we do buy it as needed, and we eat it within a week. And except for the eggs last a while, so we eat those almost every day. And you can always go back to eggs, you know. So if you want a full overview of the diet we use right now, that includes the backsliding nature of humans, that includes that you don't want to go back to a rotten fridge, just focus on those things, all right? And you'll get yourself, a big thing right here, in order to take into account that people love sugar. When you're designing your diet, your meals, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, my wife and I pay about $40 to $80 a week for 3 meals a day, and then we leave our weekends free, so we eat pretty much whatever we want on weekends. But but to take into account that everybody wants sweets, look at your nutritional values and go down to the dietary fiber and look up the sugars in it. Okay, added sugars or normal sugars. Okay, and what you want is a 1-to-1 ratio of dietary fiber to sugar. And what that does is it doesn't over rev your engine when it comes to insulin levels, guys. Your body's a machine, and like any machine, it has a life, a usable life to it. You don't want to over rev your machine in the beginning of your life and then later on find out that it's running the end of its course. You know, the Chinese guy said that your heart has a predetermined number of beats to it, and he said don't over rev your heart, don't over rev your organs. You know, so what you want to do to moderate your insulin levels, so your pancreas, I think it's your pancreas, doesn't overwork itself early in your life and you end up having complications in the future. You want to keep to a 1-to-1 dietary fiber to sugar ratio. Okay, so look at so oatmeal has a lot of dietary fiber, so you can add a good amount of fruit to it and nuts, and it'll keep it to that 1-to-1 ratio. Protein is another big one. You're gonna be like, well, if I'm not eating meat, I'm not getting enough protein. You can get enough protein. There's certain combinations that give you a full protein. For example, beans and rice. Together, beans and rice can take the place of a meat. Another one is quinoa. Quinoa by itself is a complete protein, so you don't actually need to eat a protein like eggs, tuna, or a meat, red meat, in order for your body to take advantage of protein. Tofu is another one. Soy is a full one. I never really got into soy. I do like my meats. I stick to tuna and eggs. Every once in a while we get chicken, so we buy our chicken frozen and we thaw it as needed. Fish, don't buy it frozen. If you want fish, get it fresh and get it every once in a while. Even then, people don't recommend eating fish too often. Maybe 2 times a week max, and we usually eat it maybe 1 time a week when we get that craving, or when we want to try something different. So there it is, guys. I mean, we don't really pay a lot. We do backslide. We do eat our pizzas every now and then. We do eat our burgers on weekends. And this meal plan actually gives us the most flexibility when it comes to saving money in the long run. You don't end up wasting money in your fridge. You don't end up worrying too much about your health, because it actually lets you feel fuller longer because of the fiber to sugar ratio. It retrains your body. Oh, one last thing. As with any diet that you're going to keep for a while, you want to get a good multivitamin. All right. Some people don't recommend it. Some people do. The people that don't recommend it say you can get all your vitamins from your foods or from your natural cravings, etc., etc. But get a multi. All right. The one we get is Guardian Life Organic Multi, because they get all the different vitamins from fruits and vegetables, and it has usually a very high amount of the vitamin that you need. The recommended vitamin amounts that you see online or whatever, those are the minimum requirements, guys. The minimum requirements to be healthy. A lot of times your body actually needs a lot more vitamin C, a lot more vitamin D, a lot more of several stuff to be in its optimum state, So I always get the Garden Life Multi. It gives you like 100 to 200% of all your vitamins, plus what you eat, So I've never had a problem with that. I've always felt really good. My wife also takes it, and she breastfeeds, and she had her kitten or whatever, and she's as healthy as can be. The baby's as healthy as can be. So I do recommend a good multi. Study your multis, look into them for the best ones. And that's it, guys. Bye.